Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to The Good Brothers, folks. That's Mike. I'm Alex, and it is March Madness. We are in the full swing of things. We got the games on the TV in the studio. Mike, tell us what we're going to talk about today.
Alex, we have a jam-packed show. We have trailers galore on this episode, and we also preview a big hit that's coming out this weekend in theaters. And, of course, we get to do the first round of Gen 1's March Madness Pokemon bracket. Alex, before we get into all that, we have the games on the background right now here in the studio. We went to a high school that really encouraged watching March Madness because their big goal was to get a lot of students into college. So this was a great way to expose them. For me, one of the, I get nostalgic for March Madness, not just because I'm a sports fan and it does great for the sports ratings, but it takes me back to going to the lunchroom or walking through the foyer or the hallways and having all the televisions on with March Madness. Do you kind of have the same? Was it like that for you guys by the time you got out?
Yeah, and I think it's only gotten better and better because I think you're right. It is one of those, like go to college. Like, this is a good experience to, have your university represented. Like, look at the city of Chicago last year with Loyola,
yeah.
And how big that really was and how people are like, I really want to go watch this game. Yeah, I may have not gone to Loyola, but that's the hometown.
Do you remember
sometimes like this year, obviously, we don't really have a representation.
Bradley, but that's Peoria, and they've gone through a lot of bullshit with the media.
Yeah, I mean, DePaul back in the day, U of I was a Final Four team.
When I was in high school freshman and you were a few years into middle school, the Illini, U of I with D. Brown,
and that was
Williams
huge.
It's huge.
Everyone had jerseys and we had posters.
And they lost to North Carolina in the NCAA championship game. So we're big fans here of the bracket. Alex is one of those guys who I love what he says here. He loves as the tournament goes on because he likes to see the better teams of that year go at it.
You're the opposite.
I'm the opposite. I'm the guy who I enjoy the first few rounds because everybody's in it. There's games the first 2 weeks. There's games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everybody has a chance. But it's a reason why I think you and I also like it because it's the beginning of baseball season. It's the end of the NBA season.
That's what it is. Yeah, like now we're getting to NBA playoffs, which I love the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, NBA playoffs is
I think they do a great job on ABC and ESPN to really push that.
First
Cubs
pitch.
baseball's coming up.
For White Sox
college
fans, with
football, the draft, like the real exciting stuff. It's getting nice out. We're going to Cubs games.
Yep.
Mike went to a Bulls game.
Last night
I didn't know that was a thing anymore.
And if you watch this past episode of Sports from Our Couch, a live edition, we're doing some new stuff there on the program along with the network.
Yeah.
We were able to do a live bracket. So we will also do a bracket live on this show, the first round. This will continue on through the rest of the month of March and a little bit into April. But if you guys are wondering too, just to guys give you a little timestamp, we are watching number 14 seed Yale take on the number 3 seed LSU. It is the second quarter with just a little under a minute and a half left. 62-68. Alex, it is starting fast already in the first round. We have a close game between two big seeds and two very known universities.
Yeah, and I think it's fun because I think some people would say, well, this isn't a sports show. Well, I think when it comes to the NCAA tournament,
it's like Super Bowl.
Kind of like everyone does a bracket at work. Like, it's so easy to be like, okay, let's do a $5 bracket. You don't have to know the names. You can be like, you know what? I went to Michigan. I'm going to pick Michigan. Or I like the Big Ten. I'm going to go with Minnesota.
Everybody does it.
Like, everyone does it. You don't, and I think that's where I do like it. You don't have to be an expert. Because to be fair, like, no matter how good you are, like, Mike, you're a professional.
Right.
You could have the worst bracket out of everyone.
Right.
Because there's really no logic sometimes to these seeds and like I said, when there's 64 teams, a lot is going to go through. Like, LSU can win the whole thing at a third seed. Yeah, that means they were better than, 10 other teams?
And it's a one-game elimination, which is, I think you said it perfectly, Alex. So for all you enjoying the tournament, enjoy the rest of this month of March and the championship game in April. But, Alex, we have a jam-packed show, so hopefully you have us on in the background as you're watching the first two rounds of the NCAA
watch
tournament.
Us more.
Yeah, watch us or listen to us as you watch the games. But, Alex, why don't we start off with our friends over at Pixar and Disney? We will start off with the Toy Story 3 trailer.
Toy Story 4.
Excuse me, Toy Story 4. I am so sorry. I love Toy Story 3 so much. Seeing this trailer brought up a lot of conversation that you're seeing.
Well, yeah, we'll get back to that because I
this
think
is
we're
what
going
I
to
think
discuss the whole.
Yes.
Is it worth? Well, let's start the trailer first.
So let's go trailer first. I'm glad you brought that up because it was on top of the mind of the conversation between 3 and 4. But this trailer on its own, let's say we didn't have 3 and the conclusion of 3. What did you think about this trailer?
I like the trailer a lot because I mean Pixar doesn't put out bad trailers, people.
Right.
I like Bo Peep. Mike thinks Bo Peep might be the bad guy. I don't think so.
Or it's a swerve at the least.
You think it's a swerve, bro?
Yeah,
I don't think it's a swerve, bro. But whatever, like that'll be fun. I like it. It's got the heart, you know. Tom Hanks puts that whole line of like, I love that line where what was it? It was you know, my whole goal in life is to take care of a kid, and it's never been this hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, Tom Hanks, that hit us all pretty deep right there. Like that whole, I think it's like maybe like now we're getting to the point of like now that college is over, we're all a little older again. Where now it's work. Now we're
it's
Woody.
family.
We're not Andy anymore. We're Woody.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, this is my job, but it's getting hard. And it's getting harder to maintain my job on a normal basis. So I think that's where we're gonna relate to Woody now. It's like, now we're not looking as a kid and as our toys. We're looking more as we're Woody now, and his job is to be great to kids. And we all have jobs where it's like, man, there's some days it's just hard to get up and do your job.
See, this is what I appreciate about the Toy Story lore and the movies, because where I got from it was more along the lines of things are hard because you're not young anymore. It's like you're raising kids. You thought you had the answers, and then you realize like it's a lot harder. Like I take it from, you thought you had the answers that your parents used to do, and then you realize like, no, they didn't have the answers. I don't have the answers. You're learning as you go on. So I think we give the trailer a passing grade. I mean, I think we're getting a lot of good ones.
And the weird thing is we don't get a big time jump in this because obviously Bonnie's still very young, so we might get a year.
And
maybe
she's not
2.
the bad guy in this movie. A lot of people were talking about that. There was some talk that she was going to be like mistreating the toys.
No, I think it's more that she's a common kid where, you know, like their attention spans are different.
Andy found Buzz, and he loved Woody, so
and
it's
that's
part
what he
of
doesn't
the
make him
story.
the bad guy.
Exactly.
No, see, like I don't know what the bad thing is.
I like the Forky storyline though. Like the fact that he wants to throw himself out, that he wants he
wasn't created for that. He was created for
Yeah.
soup or whatever, and I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think it looks fun. I like the Slappy Dolls.
Yes.
Like from Goosebumps. Like I love those.
They were legit creepy in this.
Yeah, I like Bo Peep being a badass.
Yeah.
I it's one of those movies it's honestly that trailer for part 3 where you're like, you're not gonna get it until you watch it. And then maybe their trailer will look better. Because Pixar, Disney in general, Star Wars, Marvel Studios, they do a great job of really swerving the trailers a little bit. Where you're like, I think this is the movie's going to be about, but you're like, oh, it's not about that. Never mind.
So let's go ahead and hit the elephant in the room.
Is it necessary?
Is it necessary? We're on we know what happened with part 3. We're now here in part 4. What are your initial thoughts? We knew this movie was coming, but now that you're seeing it, that it's done, it's out there, we're going to see it. What are your feelings?
See, I have 2 sides of it. One, yes, Toy Story 1 through 3 is probably one of the best trilogies ever. On the list with Star Wars, the originals, Indiana Jones, but here's the problem. Like I just said that. Indiana Jones ruined their trilogy by adding the Crystal Skull.
Sure.
Is Toy Story going to do the same? I don't think so. I think Toy Story will come on. This will be one of those things where we're like, this is the first quadrilogy that really just is so good. Like all 4 are perfect movies. Like how do you end it? Because like the end of part 3 was so perfect. It's like, how do you really end it? Like, are you really going to show us these toys being turned off or destroyed or put in the attic? Or are you just going to leave it open even more for like, well, we can do part 5 one day. And I think that's more of the path if you're going down this path to leave it like that. I'd rather you leave it open and be like, well, maybe we come back in 20 years and they're antiques. And now things have changed. Because you got to think, in the movie, since it hasn't been a big time jump, they really haven't introduced iPads or the modern child. Yeah. So maybe that would be like, you know how Wreck-It Ralph did it very well, where they went from arcade to like, okay, now we're on the internet.
Yeah, right.
And I think that works, and I think Pixar could take that from Disney and be like, okay, one day we could do a movie about, well, no one plays with toys anymore. Like, toys aren't a thing really unless it's stuffed animals for infants. And, you know, even then, we look at babies today, and like a lot of it is child development games. And I'll give them this. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying, you know, it's smart, like Kelsey and Lewis. Like, you know, you find out these crazy things kids can do on iPads where it's helping them learn, or Peppa Pig, you know. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not one of those people saying, whoa, no, technology's ruining it. Like, no, who cares? It's like, if that saves parents money and if that helps kids develop and you don't have to buy a million toys that are going to get the garbage, why is that a bad thing? Because it's different. We're not those people. Different doesn't mean bad all the time, you know. Different sometimes is for an improvement. Like, look at medicine. Obviously, different was an improvement.
And it's interesting that you bring that up, though. I do think it may not look. We can live in a reality in which both of these things are true. The original trilogy, 1, 2, and 3 of Toy Story, are amongst the best.
Perfect.
You can live in a world where we don't need a part 4. But there's no rule that says we don't. There is no definitive ending of part 3. This story could be told on for generations. It's about toys. And guess what has never gone away? From little wooden sticks to where we're at right now with iPads, that you have to still buy toys to put them onto your iPad to create the digital version
Amiibos.
of it. Yeah, thank you. Amiibos, or like these come-to-life toys. Toys exist forever.
And it's the lessons behind the...
That never change.
And it's not just about the toys. It's a lesson of, okay, what part 1's about, okay, jealousy and learning to adapt to change. And then part 2 is more where you stand. What's your
family.
What's your purpose at the end of the day? Like, do you want to be A? Do you want to be B? Going down that bridge. And part 3 really is the terms of, like, getting older. And what do I do with that? And do I still push for this, or do I go with the times? And part 4 seems like it's the same. The message is always clear of, what do you do in this scenario?
I think this one's going to be about in today's day and age where we have people that feel different. They don't feel themselves in their own body. They feel like they're somebody else. I think that's what you're going to see with the Sporky character, in which he's a character that, or she's a character that feels one way.
I think it's he. It's a boy.
Whichever one. Yeah, but that's the thing, though.
I forgot the voice of it, but a very famous comedian.
So to me, it's just one of those things where they're just, again, typing into the zeitgeist of what teenagers, young kids, and adults are feeling today. But I'm excited to see what they do with Toy Story 4. I trust the team behind this, and at the very least, it's the talent behind it should give itself the leeway to
like this
to
could be one of those perfect things where part 4 is perfect, and then by the time we have kids, they're on part 6 or 7, and maybe it's one of these like, listen, guys, like, we don't want to just make a trilogy. We want to make this movie for every generation because we feel the lessons are still continuous. And yeah, like we don't always have to jump 10 years.
Right.
Part 1 and 2 jumped a year, and then obviously 2 and 3 jumped 10 years. But then 3 and 4 only jumped a year. So, like, you can keep doing that pattern of, like, okay, let's just jump another year. Now Bonnie's 18 by part 5.
Right.
Okay, now what are we going to do? They go back to the daycare and then they find a new kid or something. Or maybe the whole, like, you know what, living in the attic as long as we're together sort of thing. We're like, we're more collecting dust, but we're family aspect. Because that's another big one, is the family aspect of these toys.
Well, as long as you have the talent behind them and the love of these characters from these creators, there's always the possibility that not only we're going to get another movie, but that it can live up to its lineage that's already presented. But Alex, we'll definitely keep our eyes on Toy Story 4. We obviously love it in this family. It makes a huge run every single time we talk about it as one of the top tier trilogies and movies individually. But any last thoughts before we close the toy chest for a few weeks?
No, that's probably my favorite Pixar movie.
Fair enough.
And in general, I think Toy Story 3 is my favorite Pixar
Sure.
movie. I'd say of all the Toy Stories, I think that one, because we grew up with them. So by the time Toy Story 3 came out, I think I was 18.
Okay.
So I got the perfect age of, like...
I agree. I think Toy Story's probably...
Like, that's my favorite one, I think. I think it's the funniest. I think it's got the most adult humor, and they really swing for a lot of things. And I like the swerves, and I like the Barbie. Like, Ken is one. Yeah. He's great.
But they're all great.
I'm excited. Keanu Reeves is in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about Keanu Reeves being a voice in this Toy Story 4, so that's also exciting. But, no, yeah, I'm excited. Like, we're going to see it opening night. If not before,
But moving on, Alex, some more Hollywood royalty comes through because we got a trailer with a certain Leonardo DiCaprio and a Brad Pitt from a certain director in Quentin Tarantino in a new Tarantino flick, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Now, is this a trailer or a teaser? I can't
tell
tell the difference. It's a short trailer.
Right. In today's day and age, they're all trailers. And I think that it was a teaser. Now, let me ask you this. Everybody was bashing the poster because the poster was so basic.
It's not legendary.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
who cares?
It's just a poster.
Who hangs the posters anymore that aren't in the professionals?
Unless you have a studio. Yeah, like that's the only.
Like, it's all about phone backgrounds now and laptop backgrounds and iPad backgrounds.
And as we continue on, I also want to shout out to everybody. Alex and I have the Yale LSU game going on, and Yale refuses to go down. They have hit like 4 straight 3-pointers, and now
over.
And the game is over. Now, I will say this about the trailer though itself, Alex. It does obviously have the Tarantino dust on it. It obviously has the star power.
Okay, let's call spade a spade. This trailer teaser, let's call it short trailer.
Yeah.
This short trailer was purely to say Quentin Tarantino's back.
And here's in it.
And here's Brad Pitt, Leo, Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
And, oh, wait, Bruce Lee's from to the movie. Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Like, I get what they try to do. Like, I think I'm not, like, stoked, because at this point, we're already pretty high on this movie.
I was going to say, let's put a bookmark what you're about to say. Let's put the trailer to the side. The trailer isn't going to make you more excited or not. Did the trailer show you what you should be expecting in this movie? Do you have an idea? Because I think Tarantino in his own always has a certain hype level.
Yeah.
These actors in a Tarantino movie or in a certain type of thought of movie are always kind of have that energy. But what do you think we're going to get from this movie?
I think we're going to get a classic. I think this movie is going to be one of the best movies of the year and will be an Oscar movie. And that's the problem. Is like the bar's already set so high. This trailer didn't like reset the bar. It didn't make it lower or higher.
Sure.
It just didn't do anything. Like it was literally very pretty. Like instead of a pretty poster, we got a pretty teaser of like Margot Robbie hippie dancing and Brad Pitt being Brad doing his Brad Pittisms
Leo crying
and Leo being Leo and like. You know, we got them doing their thing, and Quentin Tarantino, like, to me, it was like, okay, if I wasn't hyped about this movie, I don't think I'm any more hyped.
Okay.
But I'm very hyped about it, and I'm not any more hyped. Like, I don't think, I need to see the first trailer. I think I'm always a person, I want to see a little story, because right now, all I'm seeing is actors being actors.
Sure.
Like, if you didn't tell me it was a Quentin Tarantino, I thought it would just be Leo, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie hanging out.
Yeah.
I like the actor that plays Bruce Lee. I think that's fun.
Great,
and the drama, people are saying that it's disrespectful to Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee really did teach stuntmen. That was part of his job. Like that one's more like, well, I don't think you know a lot about Bruce Lee because he trained stuntmen in Hollywood.
As long as an Asian man played Bruce Lee, you should. And
it sounded. I thought it looked and sounded just like
great
him.
Impersonation, yeah.
I'm like, guys, like I know I love Bruce Lee too. He was very Hollywoodized.
Oh, totally.
And that was great. Like Alex, he did a lot for Hollywood.
They banned him in his home country because he introduced it to the United States.
Guess what? That didn't make him any less of a master martial artist.
And shout out to his son because The Crow's fucking awesome.
You like The Crow?
I love the first
I guess I'm ruined with The Crow because of all the drama with The Crow the last 70 years.
Yeah. But like that first Crow
Jason
movie,
Momoa would have been my Crow.
Yeah, which would be cool though. But like the Brandon Lee Crow is phenomenal. But Alex, all in all, it's a Tarantino movie. We should expect some form of quality. Whether to me, the least likable Tarantino film is Hateful Eight.
Really?
And if that's the least, in my opinion, if that's the bottom of it, I know. If that's the bottom of the list, you're in good you're in good hands with this movie.
I think the problem with Hateful Eight is that he went a little too full Tarantino toward the end.
Sure.
With certain scenes and certain things, I'm like, we didn't need that.
But like, I love the casting.
He let Sam Jackson go full Sam Jackson, and I'm like, sometimes we don't need full Sam Jackson.
I think we're gonna have full Sam Jackson in this one somewhere.
But it's different. Like you look at Django. Like it's very different when you let Sam Jackson go full Sam Jackson. Favorites. I love Django, but like it's just different. Like I think Hateful Eight wasn't the best written movie, but I thought it was very good. I did really like Hateful Eight. I don't think it needed to be so long.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he tried making it the next big movie, and it's like you could have just made a really, really good movie. And let's be honest, that movie did get nominated like crazy. So it's not like us not like I said. When it comes to Tarantino, it's kind of like saying, well, which 6 of the Bulls championships was your favorite? Yeah, I don't know. Like obviously they won the championship, but I guess 93 or something. I don't know. 97. I don't know.
So Alex, we give it a passing grade.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. It didn't do any less or more. Okay, I guess it did a little more because now we get to see the visuals.
Yeah.
So I guess it hypes me more for Quentin Tarantino than the actors because I'm already pumped for the actors. Yeah. The actors. And I just love, like you said, it's them doing their thing. It's Margot Robbie being sexy. It's Brad Pitt being charming and sly. Yeah. And it's Leonardo DiCaprio being Leo.
Going all Leo. Going full Leo. So we can't wait. We'll keep our eyes and ears on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Maybe the final Quentin Tarantino.
He said he was going to do 10. No. This is what, number 9?
Yeah. No, he said he was going to do 9.
I thought he was going to do 10.
See, it always changes.
He changes. He's going to write movies forever.
The legend of Tarantino.
He's going to do another one. He'll do Pulp Fiction 2 eventually.
Alex, we continue on with badasses because Keanu Reeves in John Wick 3 drops another trailer. We are getting closer and closer, and we will talk about another co-star of his in John Wick, another trailer in which he stars in just a little bit. But in this one, Alex, I think we don't have to be sold anymore.
It's what it is. It's closing off a trilogy.
Yeah.
it's almost like the Mission Impossible trailers at this point where you're like, we know it's going to be a good movie, but they're not reinventing the wheel. Like, yeah, they might reinvent some of the action scenes, which that's all we really need. I think them and Mission Impossible are a perfect example of they're not trying to do too much. They're like, okay, we know what you like. You like solid writing, you like inventive ways of the killing, and you like your main actor. And that's what I'm saying. The parallel is so close between those movies.
Yeah.
Of like, I like Keanu Reeves. I love the John Wick backstory. I love the background actor, Lauren Fishburne, Halle Berry.
I wonder if Common's going to be in this movie after what happened.
He has to be. He has to be. And I think it's just fun. Like, obviously, we see some inventive ways of him killing. We see him riding a horse.
Ian McShay.
Like, it's nothing, it's nothing crazy, but I don't want crazy. I want the same thing I just got. And it's a very old school way of doing movies where it's like, I don't need you to reinvent yourself. Just do what you did and close the John Wick story so that we can get the show.
I totally agree, and I think we're a John Wick family, so we're super hyped about it, and we don't have to talk up John Wick. You guys know it. But...
Oh, wait, but before we move on...
Bill and Ted
got announced.
So,
they announced that they will be coming out in 2020 while Keanu was on it. So, Keanu got a Toy Story, he got John Wick, and... Big week, he announced Bill and Ted.
It couldn't happen to a better dude in Hollywood.
It's
really
2020. So we couldn't forget that. Like, no trailer, but just a nice little Twitter, nice little Instagram video saying, you know, hey, Bill and Ted Part 3 coming out 2020.
Shout out to them. So I'm
good for them.
Good for them. That is
like, he's
really
of
cool.
course Keanu Reeves is the only guy that can pull off a pet project from 20 years ago. Like, everyone else has tried. He's the only one that actually made it happen, though.
Alex, we also go a little bit of nostalgia for those of the HBO realm because we got a Deadwood trailer, and I really enjoyed it. I'm a huge Deadwood fan. Shout out to our guy Doug Bolin for getting us into it here at Mercado Airwaves, and I know you started getting into it just a little bit, but
it's very gritty, real. Like, for those who don't watch because it's a little older, think like it's real Old West.
I will say this about the trailer. It has the benefit of obviously today's day and age technology, so it doesn't look as gritty as it did when HBO first premiered.
Like, just prettier.
It's a little prettier. But we're not going to spend too much time on it because it was just a teaser on it. But I highly suggest if you're looking for something to get you over to Game of Thrones.
3 seasons.
And if you're not watching the Case of Adnan Syed, or if you're not watching Neverland, which you could see Alex and I's full review. We had early access to the Case of Adnan Syed, and we highly suggest you guys check that out in case you're not going to watch the whole series. But if the very least, if you're looking for something to take up your time on the HBO network, highly suggest Deadwood before its huge movie premiere. But Alex, that is not all that happened in the entertainment world, because we are coming off the cusp of a huge premiere that was Captain Marvel. But now, there has probably never been a second time movie for a director that has as much anticipation behind it than we're seeing with Jordan Peele. And that's because in just a few hours, the world will see us, the general public will. It's having great reviews from some of our colleagues around the internet and around the entertainment world. You're going to go see it. You're excited to see it.
I'm going to see it.
You're going to see it before I do.
It's getting crazy hype reviews, perfect scores. Yeah. Now, here's what I did hear. I hear it's obviously a little more horror than Get Out. Because obviously Get Out was a political message movie, I would say.
Sure.
This one's more of a horror, but I hear it's still... I hear the biggest takeaway from it is that Jordan Peele needs to keep making movies. Because the man is fantastic.
He's an artist.
Yeah. Like, I hear that no matter what. Like even the littlest critiques, because no movie's perfect. Even people say Godfather 2 is a little too long.
Love Godfather.
Like, and I love exactly. Like, there's no perfect movie. It's just not. It's impossible. Because that's our job, is to nitpick, if anything, you know. But the one thing you do hear is like Jordan Peele is a mastermind, and they're like, he's the Alfred Hitchcock of our generation, where he does no wrong. So you might not love the movie, but you're gonna love the directing. You can watch this movie and say, I hated this story, I hated the writing, I hated the characters. But man, that directing is freaking like, this man is gonna win a Best Director in the next 3 years.
There's never been an easier bet right now than Jordan Peele will win a Best Director Oscar.
I would say the next 3 years, So let's say within 5.
Sure.
So what are we in? We're in 2019? What are we,
So by
2019?
2025, we'll say.
But before 2025, he will win an Oscar for Best Director.
And then he has The Twilight Zone coming out on CBS All Access in just 2 weeks. So the man is...
Which, Mike, I'm sorry, Mike, you're going to have to buy CBS All Access. You're going to have to put it on the network, I guess.
I agree. But we're both hyped for us.
Oh, no, it's going to be great. And, you'll have our full reviews next week, obviously. And we'll have a secret review. We're not even going to talk about that. It's a big
Alex, stop before the government shuts us out. Yeah. Alex, don't tell anybody the secret. All right, Alex, before we get into the main event of this episode, we have a certain news that we have to finally put the stamp on. We can finally bury it. It's another one of our bets/show topics that started the Good Brothers.
I'll do it. All right, so it's been a year in the making. Mike, out of a million bets on this show, you've lost all of them. You haven't even came close on most of them. You lost the Superman debate. You lost a lot of the movie review debates. You lost the Oscars.
Yeah, get to it.
Hold on, I'm not done yet. You lost last year's bracket. Yeah. But Mike called it. The deal is final. There is no more court. Nothing. It is official. Disney now owns Fox.
Yep. So they own...
Take your minute round.
Yeah. So basically everything that is in Fox News and Fox Sports, they own. So... Alex, just really fast, what do you think this means for shows like... I think they're going to keep the logo. I think they're going to keep, for the most part...
They are. It's going to be like when Fox had Searchlight.
Yeah.
Disney's going to make sure this is like, hey, we own it, but, Like, you don't see a Disney logo before Star Wars.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, well... you don't see a big old the Disney logo before some of their movies.
You don't see it before Infinity War. You
see the Marvel logo.
Yeah, you see a Marvel logo.
And remember, I know people just think that they've owned Marvel forever. It's been like 10 years, guys.
Yeah.
And Disney's been around for 80, 90, almost 100.
Yeah.
At this point, well, like 80. So to me, it's like, well, okay, they bought Fox, and yes, we don't want to get too political about. Yes, there is a lot of jobs being lost.
4,000 jobs were lost.
There is a lot going on, and like obviously we can get into that on a separate occasion. About
maybe one day. Yeah, we'll talk.
We just don't think that's obviously we have our feelings, and it's wrong when people lose jobs. But guess what? It's happening, so we have to talk about it in the sense of movies.
Sure.
And in the very simple sense of movies, obviously they own the Fox characters. They've already announced they won't do anything with those characters till 2021.
At least.
Obviously, the stars of X-Men are upset because they feel like this is burying their movie, which, guess what? It kind of is.
It is.
It is what it is.
It sucks. It's not.
Sophie Turner definitely came out and was very vocal about the whole, because I think the problem was that they hired the right actors.
Yeah.
And it was just bad producing, bad writing, bad directing, obviously. So I think I would feel bad, too, if it's like, it wasn't our fault. Same with Fantastic Four. It's like, you hired 4 of the best young and upcoming actors.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. There was a bad movie and badly cut and badly produced, and decisions were not made right. And it's just interesting. Obviously, I think the only one that's like okay is Deadpool, where Disney's not dumb. Disney's like, okay, we're definitely gonna keep Deadpool.
Yeah, that's working.
Like Ryan Reynolds can work no matter what we do.
Yeah.
But we're probably gonna have to change everyone else.
I'm excited to see what they have going. I wonder how much they've known behind the scenes, because you and I know when it comes to business things in this small of a level, let alone and how large of a level there have been up there. They've obviously had plans. They've obviously thought about things. Now, you could get in trouble from collusion and stuff like that, but the deal's done and we move forward. But Alex, we will be on the lookout to see what new rumors we have beyond just superhero movies. We'll see what Disney does with some of these properties, what they decide to put on the Disney Plus or the ESPN app Plus. So I'm interested to see exactly where they do with that, Alex. But I think that's pretty much it for all the news and notes for this week, Alex. What do you think? You got anything left for us?
No, I think we're ready to get to my winning bracket.
All right, let's do it then. It is time for the first round of the 2019 Good Brothers March Madness Pokemon brackets. It is Gen 1. We'll be doing this throughout the next few weeks. We picked 32 Pokemon. In case you missed how we broke this down, 32 Pokemon were picked. We have 4 regions: the Ash region, the Misty region, the Brock region, and the Oak region. Alex and I have a vote, and then we have a third arbitrary vote that will decide any tiebreakers between us.
Not Nicole.
And it's definitely not Nicole.
She apparently loves Mike and will pick whatever he wants.
Absolutely. Because she knows how things are ran.
So we buried her.
Yeah. All right, Alex, are you ready to do this? We will start off in the Ash region.
Hopefully the first round goes smoothly. We really haven't talked about this, Mike, so let's see how this goes.
Alex saw this one time before we did it on last week's podcast, but other than that, he's been pretty quiet about it. So, you ready to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Ash region. The number 1 seed, Mewtwo, versus the 8th seed Primeape. I'll go Mewtwo.
I'm gonna go Mewtwo too. Like Mewtwo's pretty badass. Like I love Primate too.
Yeah, so do I.
And let's throw back to the old school. I think one of my favorite Pokemon was when they did the boxing ring fighting, the non-Pokemon style. Primate's always doing stupid things, but it's Mewtwo. Come on, Mewtwo.
This bracket's really hard. Like there's gonna be your nostalgia's gonna be put to the.
Oh no, yeah, and like obviously if Primate was going against anyone else, maybe, but it's Mewtwo. You're going Mewtwo. Mewtwo's a heavy favorite going down this road.
All right, how about the 4 seed Onix versus the 5 seed Psyduck? Who you go with?
Onix.
I'll go Onix too.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Yeah.
He's like the first badass Pokemon we see in the show.
But I love Psyduck.
Psyduck's fine. Psyduck annoyed me a little bit sometimes. Because I was like, you got all that power. You're not going to be dope, though. Like, Missy didn't even like Psyduck.
This is a hard one. The number 3 seed Scyther versus the 6 seed Vulpix.
It's Vulpix.
I'll go Scyther.
You go Scyther?
Yeah.
Really?
All right. So I love Vulpix, but
Vulpix, I think, looks cuter.
Yeah.
His evolution is better. And he was an actual Pokemon in the season 1 of Brock.
You know what? You changed my mind. I'll go Vulpix.
You're gonna confide? Okay.
I'll go over.
I do love Scyther, but I think Scyther really didn't hit his stride till season 2, and we're doing season 1 more.
And you know what? Before we make official, I'll make it a rule right now. You can switch your pick before we do.
Well, because this is obviously from the network.
Yeah.
We're going to have our own brackets, but
right.
I can fight him like point for Alex.
All right. So, Growlithe in the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. Meow.
Okay, you know Growlithe's one of my heavy lower seed favorites, so Growlithe.
Growlithe's a 2 seed, so he's
not only Growlithe's
a
dope police dog and is a fire dog and is a dog.
I'll give you the matchups when we finish up for the next round in next week's episode, but you're gonna have a heart attack on what Growlithe has to go through. How about we go down to the Misty region, Alex?
Ooh, Misty sucks. She's the worst.
The number 1 seed Squirtle versus the 8 seed Lapras.
Mike, just write it down already.
All right, so Squirtle moves on into the next round.
Squirtle's winning the whole thing.
The 4 seed Snorlax versus the 5 seed Machamp versus Snorlax.
I'm torn because my inner sleeper wants to pick Snorlax, but obviously my inner muscle man wants to be Machamp, but it's going to be Snorlax.
Just for fun, I'm going to go Machamp. You ready to go?
Machamp, see what we're going to do this?
So we have the 4
This one tore
seeds.
me.
Yeah.
So this is a Hail Mary because they both got their positives.
All right, let's go to the arbitrary of this bracket selection when Alex and I are at a standstill. The 4 seed Snorlax versus the 5 seed Machamp. Moving on
Buzzer beater.
Snorlax.
Yeah.
Snorlax moves on
2
to the
points
next
for
round.
Alex.
Alex, congratulations. I am happy for you.
I
on
love
that
Snorlax.
one.
He was such a big part of the game and the show, and he's all and like obviously he's one of the most powerful Pokemon.
Yeah. I love both of them.
He's in Detective Pikachu.
Sure.
Well, they're in the same scene. This was just funny. Machamp and him.
Yeah.
They're just one's a crossing guard and one's just sleeping.
No, people love those 2 Pokemon.
And obviously, I would love to pick the Muscle Man. You know what? I'll wait till it's the 4-arm Muscle Man.
Machamp was the 4-arm one.
Okay, no, I'll wait till it's a 2-arm one. That's the one I want.
I
want the non-mutated Goro one.
Okay, sure. I like the Goro version of him. All right, Alex, how about this? The number 3 seed Butterfree versus the 6 seed Poliwrath.
I like Poliwrath.
I like Poliwrath too,
Butterfree's
but
kind of like lame.
I am a sucker for the animated series, so I'll go Butterfree, and we will
Poliwrath.
So we are split in half, and Alex.
Poliwrath's all buff, like fast, and like he makes no sense like logically, but I love it.
But according to our third voter, Butterfree moves on in that round.
It's a point for Mike.
There you go. How about this to finish off the Misty region? Number 2, Ghastly versus number 7, Electabuzz. I'm going to go Ghastly.
I'm a Haunter fan, so I'm going to go Electabuzz.
Interesting. So you go against the lower evolution.
Yeah, because I'm not a Ghastly fan. Ghastly looks stupid, I feel like, and he's not fun.
Interesting. So if this was Haunter,
Haunter would have got it. Ghastly don't get. I like Electabuzz because he's just like a big old prime. Like, I'm
gonna go Ghastly. You went Electabuzz. According to Arbitrator, Ghastly moves on.
Boo, Ghastly, boo. Haunter's better. So is Gengar.
Yeah, I love his.
He's the worst one.
Yeah, out of the 3, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, Alex.
Boo. All right, so we're about tied for points. So we're about 2-2 at the moment if we're counting this. Yeah.
Okay, Alex, we move on to the Brock region. We have the number 1 seed Charizard versus the number 8 seed Dragonite. I'm going to go Charizard.
You know what? I really wanted to mess with you and just make it go to a third party so Charizard could get upset. But that's kind of bogus because we're professionals.
Sure, on this one.
So I'm going to, you know what? If you would have put Gyarados there or something, maybe. But I don't like Dragonite. I think it's kind of a pansy.
Sure.
I'll go. You know what? Not to mess with Mike, I'm gonna go Charizard because that's the logical, better pick. I was going to pick it just to go third party and maybe get a Hail Mary, but I'm not going to do that to bracket because that's not fun. That's not cool.
I just don't think the Dragonite character comparative to Charizard or Gyarados or like that
like
level.
Like a Gyarados, maybe.
Gyarados would have given it a run.
Yeah, like that's a cool Dragon.
But
like,
Gyarados has a 3 seed, so Gyarados is a respectable.
Yeah, Dragonite's kind of one of those that like it should have been a lot cooler than it was, but they just never did anything with it.
I like this matchup: the number 4 seed Eevee versus the number 5 seed Cubone. Cubone down.
I gotta go Eevee. Eevee's got so much upside. Eevee's cute.
I go Eevee too.
That's one of Nicole's favorites. You know, shout out to Nicole. We buried her.
How about the number 3 seed Pidgeot versus the number 6 seed Mankey? I'll go Pidgeot.
You know what? I like Pidgeotto better. I think Pidgeotto had better story. Because once he becomes Pidgeot, he basically leaves.
Well, according to the third voter, Alex, Mankey beats Pidgeot
Mankey.
in an upset.
Monkey's rule. Planet of the Apes.
And into the 2 seed, Bulbasaur against the number 7 seed, Ponyta.
Bulbasaur. Ponyta, you know what? It was a lot closer than I thought it would have been.
I did that on purpose.
Because again, the race episode is classic.
And just
but I like Rapidash better.
Yeah, Rapidash is pretty good.
Because he starts turning into more of like a fire horse and just kind of a horse on fire.
Definitely.
If that makes sense. But you got to go you got to go Bulbasaur on that.
All right, Alex.
Which I think it's funny that Squirtle and Bulbasaur made it, but Charizard was the one that made it for because I'm a Charmander fan and a Charmeleon fan.
See, I love Charmander. I think Charmeleon is the most underrated of the
of all 9.
But here's the thing: I love Wartortle too.
I did the Medal of all Ivysaur's dope too.
Let's just call it a spade a spade. The original 9 are all just
sick. Like when you look at them, like Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard.
Because there's some generations that, as the years went on, just kind of fell flat until you got.
Yeah, I think after 3, like that, and that's where we'll kind of stop eventually. I think one day.
Yeah,
like we might do if we do Pokemon brackets, it'll probably stop at Gen 3 where we know it.
And if Detective Pikachu Smash is like people think it is, and they build that universe, we'll definitely do another generation. But Alex, we move to the final region, the final selections of this week's portion of the bracket. How about the number 1 seed in the Oak region, Pikachu, versus the 8 seed, Coughing? Pikachu.
Yeah, Coughing's kind of lame.
Yeah, but I think
I like Wheezing better.
Wheezing's cool just because, yeah. How about the number 4
I'm not even a Pikachu fan either.
I love Pikachu.
I'm not a Pikachu fan. I'm a Raichu fan. I think he should have evolved already.
I like Raichu, but you know what? Being such a Gen 1er and having watched...
Is it Detective Pikachu?
No.
Then I don't like it. I don't want to. You can't talk. I don't care.
How about the 4 seed Magmar versus the 5 seed Abra?
Magmar, because Magmar whooped Charizard's ass for a little bit.
Yeah, but I do love Abra.
Isn't that funny that could lead to a rematch of Magmar versus Charizard?
It could happen in the Final Four. We'll talk about the potential matchups. How about the number 3 seed Gyarados versus the 6 seed Taurus?
We gotta go Gyarados because we already hyped him up so much.
But you know what?
Tauros is cool.
That's one of those that, like, against almost any other seed.
Here's this. Tauros looks cool.
Yeah, okay.
But they don't do enough with Tauros in the show to make you really like him. All they ever say is, well, he caught like 7 in Smarty Zone.
Yeah.
And he has a bunch at home.
Yeah.
But they never do anything with them. And I thought it sucks because we're both Taurus. And I have a bull tattoo.
Yeah, right.
I would love to pick it, but it's like they don't do anything with him.
All right, Alex, you ready for the last one of this week? Yeah. The number 2 seed Sandshrew versus the 7 seed Rhydon. Sandshrew.
Yeah, I'll go Sandshrew.
All right.
He can swim. I'm assuming it's the one from the show that can swim and it's vulnerable. Apparently, it makes Pikachu. He lifts weights and does curls, and I like that.
All right, Alex, you ready to hear what next week's matchups will be?
Yeah, let's give us a little preview.
How about in the Ash region, we will have the number 1 seed Mewtwo take on the number 4 seed Onix.
Okay.
In the next matchup, it will be Vulpix versus Growlithe.
Okay.
2-6.
Okay, give me a week.
Moving into the Misty region, we will have Squirtle in the 1 seed against the 4 seed Snorlax.
Oh, that's going to break my heart.
In the 3rd seed, Butterfree taking on the 2 seed Ghastly.
I'm pissed, but both of them are still there. Those are both your 2.
Moving into the Brock region, the number 1 seed Charizard takes on the 4 seed Eevee.
Okay.
In the 6th seed of Mankey versus the 2nd seed Bulbasaur.
Okay, it's quite a little game there.
And finishing off in the Oak region, we will have Pikachu versus Magmar in a 1-4 matchup. And to finish off that round, we will have the 3 seed Gyarados take on the 2 seed, Sandshrew. Let us know if you guys
There'll
like
be
our
some
selections.
upsets, I think, or there's gonna be a couple buzzer beaters. We're gonna have to go to a third party a lot next week. I feel
It's
like
gonna be fun.
Like
It's
that
gonna
third
be fun.
party better be ready because I already have the feeling. I'm like, me and Mike are not going to agree on a lot of these.
What I'm noticing too is a lot of these Pokemon were on our parties growing up too, but a lot of our starting 6.
Yeah,
so,
of course they were.
It's just funny how that.
Red
happens.
Gyarados.
Yeah. So guys, let us know exactly shiny red Gyarados, sir. Let us know exactly if you hated our picks, loved our picks, who would move on, and what do you think is going to happen.
You do a
in the
better
next
job
one.
then.
Yes.
You do it.
You do a show, damn it. Alex, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed kind of breaking down the first round of the bracket. What did you think moving forward?
No, it's fun. It's having fun. Obviously, we want to make sure it's clear. It's like not obviously, yes, a Charizard will kill an Eevee in the game and in the show, but we're doing more of like their cuteness, their memories. Maybe like with Eevee, you like this one better, or maybe with Charizard, like us, you're like, I kind of like Charmander better. So that's gonna count as negative and positive. So I think that's what it comes down to. Like, don't just think, well, this big thing versus little thing. Think of it as more as, what stuffed animal do you want? Or what's your better memory? Like, there's plenty of fields. And if you want to say, well, Charizard's a badass, well, that's your opinion. That's a plus for him. Or you want to be like, well, Eevee's adorable. Like, you can buy a plushie of Eevee, and they sell it everywhere. It's very popular next to Pikachu. That's a positive for Eevee then. So that's the way you have to look at it. Just like in these basketball games where, the rankings really at the end of the day are just rankings.
Yeah, it's just
like we might go down to it and have no number 1 seeds. Mm-hmm. For all we know. You never know. Yeah, so.
That was a lot of fun, Alex. I can't wait. But that'll do it for us on this episode of The Good Brothers. You got any last thoughts, Good Brother?
Last thoughts.
My man, go ahead and enjoy us this weekend. Enjoy all the tournament games. Make sure you guys are keeping with us on the network. Up-to-date sports talk. We'll be breaking down any breaking news in the pop culture and entertainment world. And Nicole will try to keep us in check, or at least Alex in check, in the next episode of Murder, Mysteries, and More. But that'll do it for us. For the Good Brother himself, Alex Mercado.
Yeah.
I'm Mike Mercado. We'll see you in the next episode of The Good Brothers. Enjoy the games.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder, Mysteries, and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at mmercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder, Mysteries, and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at mmercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.